What up, y'all? It's your boy Aaron. That's Steph. We the 404 HEELZ. We here to answer some questions that y'all may have. Y'all asked some good ones this week. Going in, I just write them down. I read them one time. I don't think about them until we write here, so we can think about them live and straight to you. I decided to pick a fun one to start with, and it is from Jeffy T. And he says, "Would you rather take a Gunther chop to the chest or Bianca Belair's hair whip to the bare ass stomach like she be whipping them girls sometimes, bro? That should be loud."
Well, since I'm a man, I'm gonna go ahead. Let me say, I'm gonna get Bianca Belair's hair whip to the stomach, bro. You feel me? That's what I'm gonna say, bro.
It's so loud. I know she got like beads or something at the end, and that's what makes it so fucking loud. But it is loud.
It is loud. But I'll tell you what, it was louder is Gunther, that big ass man, chopping your chest, bro. Collapse your whole chest cavity, bro. I ain't with it.
That shit would hurt, bro. I don't know. I think I would rather I want to take Gunther's chop just to say I did it, you know?
All right.
I would cry, but I would say, hey, I did it. Gunther's chop all day. He's taking Bianca's hair whip.
Yeah, I'm taking the hair whip all day, bro. Straight up.
All right, we got Sammy Girl, second question coming in. Since it's getting close to the end of the year, who is your 2024 Professional Wrestler of the Year and why?
Whoa, wait a minute. Sully? What's her name? Susie?
Sammy Girl.
Sammy Girl. Wait a minute, Sammy Girl. That's a loaded question. We gotta break this down, compartmentalize this shit. Like, what is this? Overall, what?
They just want, like, if you got, best actor Oscar, who is it? If you have to give the best wrestler award to one person this year, who are you giving it to?
Best wrestler
Your
award.
criteria. You could just choose the best wrestler, the one with the best matches. And MVP.
That's a good question.
I got my answer.
Well, you go ahead. Who you got?
I'm going the Scottish motherfucking warrior, Drew McIntyre. He made it entertaining, and he had a feud with someone that was injured, and he made it great. He made it amazing to watch. And then when they all got finally in the ring, banger matches. And then he had banger matches in between. He also won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, even though it was for 5 minutes, but he still won it. He dethroned Seth freaking Rollins. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had to go Drew McIntyre, man, the Scottish warrior. He's been an MVP. When WWE, did you see Raw?
Yeah, I did see Raw.
He back, baby. He back.
Yeah, he is. And it's the Scottish psychopath that's back.
Oh, hey, you can't say, hey. Not in my PG era.
Well, word of the street, Pete, stay tuned on that shit.
Oh, we already know.
What the hell, man?
Breaking news today.
Breaking news, fresh out the fucking oven. I'm gonna tell you like this. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and go Will Ospreay, bro. Just a simple fact of the impact that he had. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I didn't expect him to catch on this fast with fans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Most international wrestlers don't catch on that fast, bro. But he came out the first night in Revolution and had a big pop against the match with Kessler. And I mean, he's been riding high. He got a couple of matches of the year candidates, bro, by himself. That's
the MJF one is up there, the hour-long one.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
That was a good one.
But you got to go back to the Kessler match.
Yeah,
man. All right.
You know what helped Will Ospreay become famous real quick was the match with Ricochet that they showed from YouTube that he had back in the day. Because it was like, we know who Ricochet is, and this dude did this with Ricochet. This dude is something special, And it was a great match.
Right. It was a great match. But again, for him to be on national TV, being on YouTube is one thing, but national TV and still get the reception that you're getting, that's a different story.
Yeah. Who do you think the people of overall would think is the MVP of 2024?
Probably Cody.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, he deserves it. He deserves it. He would deserve it. Yeah,
he does deserve it. But my initial thought, to be honest with you, would have been Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but
honestly, but he hasn't been wrestling the whole year. But I'm saying the Bloodline storyline is the hottest thing still.
Yeah.
Anybody who gets involved with the Bloodline storyline, they get the rub.
Straight to the top. The top.
What did they say? When Roman stuck his arm out to stop Punk from exiting the cage was the highest viewed
Yeah, like
clip.
111 million views in like 3 days, bro. Insane.
Crazy, man. It's crazy.
Hey,
just doing this.
Look at Tama Tonga. He's over going like he's over doing
Yeah.
It's over. But
He's
yeah,
over it. He's over.
I'm going Drew. You're going Ospreay, the bruv.
The bruv. I got that feeling, bruv.
Yeah. He could end the year pretty good. Will Ospreay.
He should end the year very well.
Yeah. We got Kev GA dog spelled like Georgia dog. Yeah, I figured.
Bulldog.
The next name is a Falcons name too. It's pretty funny. But bigger debut, the Shield, Kane, or someone else. I think for me, just in childhood, it was, for me, it's got to be Kane, because that was like the first real debut of my youth that I can really remember and being like, he's coming, Paul Bear, he's coming,
Yeah, I mean, I still remember that debut because I remember the storyline leading up to that.
Yeah,
Paul Bear telling these stories about his younger brother the Undertaker, bro. He lives, bro. So that was well done. So Kane is really up there. It's Kane. It's gotta be Kane.
Yeah.
So, but Shield.
What's another debut? I mean, you could say Hulk debuting as a bad guy, maybe, but that really wasn't a debut in a company.
I tell you what, my favorite debut of all time, Scott Hall coming through the fucking crowd.
Yeah, that was a good one.
On live TV.
That's a good one.
That's a great debut. That's a tough one to beat right there, bro. Because
you know who I am, but you don't know I'm here.
I saw that while watching Raw. I remember the match was against Mike Ennis or some shit against some other scrub, and it was Colonel Parker was the manager, right? I'm watching, and then you see the commotion. You see, and it's Scott Hall coming through the crowd. The first thing I said, oh shit, that's Razor Ramon. It's WWF versus WCW. Oh shit, bro, I'm losing my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, Scott Hall, the very beginning of the NWO. That's got to be it right there, bro.
That's a good one. I'm still going with Kane. I got to rock Kane. I would say the Shield's probably the most impactful on the current wrestling today because of the three that it was.
Yeah.
And who did they help?
CM Punk.
Motherfucking Punk.
And that's and the initial
against
reports
who?
were, who was he fighting?
Ryback.
Oh, fuck out of here.
And then there was it was a triple threat too, I think. Can't remember who else it was.
Yeah, I don't like Ryback. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Goldberg wannabe. But listen, that the Shield group was initially supposed to come out and be ran under Punk's supervision. He was supposed to be like a manager with them.
Yeah.
He honestly, I remember him saying in the interview years ago, he said he actually went down and picked out the wrestlers who he wanted. I think one of them, I forgot which one he didn't pick, but they added him into it. I don't know if it was Roman. I don't know if it was Rollins. I know he picked Dean Ambrose, Moxley. Picked Moxley, but I can't remember if he picked. I can't remember, but one of the dudes that was in there now was supposed to be in there. But I mean, it worked out for the better for everybody. But still,
yeah,
shit.
Shield was dope.
Yeah,
we go to Dirty Bird 08, the Falcons. Back to 6-6. But that's neither here nor there. They say, what tag team do you want to see more in the WWE? Dirty Dom and Logan Paul, or Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu?
Man, who? Dirty Bird 08. Hey, come on now. You already know what's going on.
Bro, I kind of want to see Dirty Dom and Logan Paul, bro. Logan Paul talked about it on the podcast, his podcast. He's like, I want a team with Dom. It'd be the most hated tag team of all time.
It'd be the most love to hate tag team. I don't think genuinely hate tag team. You know what I mean? People see, that's what I'm saying. Dom, he's a heel on TV, but people love to hate him.
Yeah.
They love the reaction.
He goes to all the fan greetings and shit, and people love him and shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It's not genuine heat. Like, MJF gets genuine heat, bro. Like, people hate this motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
And he's an asshole in real life. Like, the city I've seen him do to fans and the signings, I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah. He don't ever turn it off.
He just one fan said, hey, MJF, you're so good. He said, yeah, I know. Now go suck a dick. What?
So you go on Bronson and Jacob, obviously, when Bronson gets back from his broken foot or whatever he's got. He did the edge, bro. He did the edge. except he weighs twice as much as Edge.
Bro, did you see the footage of that slow down?
Yeah.
Of his foot? It looks nasty.
The first thing I heard was he broke both legs, but I saw his post. He only had a cast on one of his legs. So, but it wasn't a cast. It was just a brace. So maybe, I mean, he's probably going to be back sooner than we think. And it's going to be an epic.
He shattered his shin, or was it his foot or his ankle?
It looked like his ankle.
His ankle, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he'll still be on TV. Probably, he's in this bloodline now. So.
He's in bloodline to stay type of shit, or he's just in it.
I
just
think
for the war
so.
game?
I think he's in there, bro. I think he's in there.
Oh shit. Well,
Yeah. Because we'll talk about what happens with the Bloodline 2.0 on Word on the Street, baby, every Thursday. Next question. We go into your, this is kind of like a twofer, kind of AEW and WWE question here. It says, has AEW, oh, my bad. It's from Matt Quinn. He says, has AEW relied too much on former WWE talents, or should they keep trying to capitalize on their names? How you feel?
And by relying too much on the WWE talents, like, what does he mean by that?
Like, I think he's mainly saying, like, should they keep signing people that leave WWE, or should they just build from within and try and just build their homegrown superstars, like a Jack Perry, a Daniel Garcia, fucking, Orange Cassidy, your Darby Allin,
Chris Statlander.
And I will say Sting, I think it's got to be the right WWE talent, because Sting definitely helped Darby Allin for sure.
Yeah, he did. He did. He helped him out to very, very much so. But I don't think they rely on WWE talent. I think they use WWE talent to draw more eyes to their product. But as far as like main event matches, bro, they don't really use WWE talent like that. Think about it.
Christian. Still WWE.
Christian is barely on TV.
He's coming back, baby. He got the contract. He's coming.
Yes, but he's not on TV every segment every day of the week type of shit. Like, you don't see him for maybe 2 weeks out, and then he'll pop up here and there.
Yeah.
But within that, he's bringing along Nick Wayne, young talent, and Kill Switch, aka Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
So now
Luchasaurus still fucked up. He's still fucked up.
Yeah, still messed up.
Yeah.
But also they got Kip Sabian along with with the gang now. So again,
but then Hurt Syndicate, that's all WWE, baby.
That is. Yeah. But hey, you sign these talents to help evolve other talents.
Yeah.
Again, they took a homegrown talent, and I'm gonna say Swerve is homegrown. He's a homegrown talent.
Yeah, he's not WWE. I will give you. I'm not gonna claim it. Like, I'm not gonna be like that was WWE. Nah,
because he wasn't popping in WWE like this.
Nah, I think he wrestled like 5 times on the main roster. Maybe, I think.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, but hey, you'll be a fool not to use former WWE talent to help get your homegrown talent over. I mean, that's what WCW did.
For sure.
Shit. WWE did it for years. They used to take from all the other territories and bring them into the WWE, then the WWF, Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
When Vince Sr. owned it, they would take people from territories like Ric Flair, like a Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah.
Like the Road Warriors.
They took everyone, man.
Hulk Hogan. Everybody that made it big in WWE was from territories. They already had their names somewhere else. So, yeah, it's a wrestling thing, Oos. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a wrestling thing. I see what they trying to do. Okay. What's the name? Who was that? Who said it?
Matt Quinn. Matthew Quinn, I believe.
Matt Quinn. I see what you're trying to do, Matt Quinn. But it ain't gonna work. I know what you're trying to do.
I think sometimes maybe I don't even say now. Sometimes they get to push a little too early. I feel like I guess it's all right. Like Adam Copeland, but he deserves to be on top real quick in a feud with Christian, who had a TNT championship at the time, right? Yeah. And then Edge, no. Christian still won it, right? I forget how their rivalry went.
No, Christian had the TNT title.
Yeah.
And then Copeland came on and wanted to be a tag team with Christian, but Christian said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, go
you know what I'm saying?
Yourself.
So, shit. You tell me.
And then I scroll down from that post and I see Edge and Christian promoting their plank board together. Cause
their what?
They got like a plank board that like different exercises to help plank and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just funny that we all know they're like best friends in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You used to think they were brothers. I used to think they were brothers. I was like, these two look like the fucking same, bro. And then they were in the Brood.
The Brood, yeah, long blonde hair and shit.
Gangrel, bro. Gangrel.
Very underrated to me.
Yeah.
Very underrated.
All right, then we go into MC Ridge. Another AEW question, but this has a little CM Punk involved here.
Oh, yeah.
Did the firing of CM Punk from AEW stop the growth and potential of where AEW was headed?
Yes.
Yes.
No question. No question about it. Yeah.
Big mistake.
I don't even think he got fired, bro. I think he quit. I think he said, "Fuck this. I'm out of here. You can't control your talent. I'm out of here." So I don't think he got fired. I think he quit.
But Tony and him said he got fired.
But even though the internet saying that there was a committee with Bryan Danielson was on, and they came to the conclusion that it's best for him to exit the company. I don't know how true that is, but I do remember CM Punk on an interview said, after that Jack Perry incident on All In London, he looked at Tony. He said, "Yo," he said, "Fuck this, bro. I quit. I'm out of here."
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe it was a mutual parting ways, But yes, I can definitely say CM Punk not being in AEW and the unprofessionalism of. I was really reviewing that shit today. Matter of fact, about Hangman and CM Punk, bro. Like for CM Punk,
the promo.
Yes, for CM Punk to stay in that ring. Yeah. And take that shit and not blow up.
Yeah.
And try to keep it professional. Kudos to Punk. Because that'd have been anybody else. Somebody would have got mollywopped with the quick, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he was like, bro, we talked about this, we talked about that, and I can barely hear what he's saying because the crowd's so loud.
Yeah.
He said, but I'm like, kid, what are you doing?
And then he was like, I couldn't even say what I was supposed to say because it wouldn't have matched up to his shit at all. Yeah. And then he got pushed down, which I don't think was part of it either. Hangman, I think, pushed him down.
Yeah. So, and he said he went backstage and he told him, he said, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
And then when he told him, "Well, you got my friend fired, who wasn't even fired, Colt Cabana, in the first place." Yeah. So, again, childish shit like that. Again, I love Hangman as a character on TV and ring ability, great shit. But nah, bro, that put a sour taste in my mouth. You know what I mean? Like, you keep it professional. Yeah. That's why it's called professional wrestling. That's the professional in professional wrestling.
And then CM Punk at Survivor Series goes off script and mushes Bronson Reed in the face while he's locked in a cage.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. That's why it cut away, because I think they cut away because it wasn't part of the script, so they didn't know what was gonna happen. So they're like, "Oh fuck, just cut away. Just cut away." It's like CM Punk went over there and stuck his hand in the cage and mushed him in the face. And then Bronson Reed, I was like, damn, they should have showed it. It would have been awesome to see it. But I remember it did a weird thing with the camera, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And then I think it was a day and a half later, or it might have been that night or the day later. It was like CM Punk went off script and mushed motherfucking Bronson Reed in the face. I was like, well, that kind of improvisation I think is all right, But changing a promo, unprofessional.
I'm pretty sure that he kind of said it under his breath, like, "I'm about to mush you," I'm pretty sure, there was some
I don't think so, bro.
I don't think he just went up and just said, "Here you go, bitch."
Bro, I remember him walking and, reaching, and then they, cut it. And, he just walked over and just straight did it, bro.
Oh, well, I mean, CM Punk is known for going off script.
Yeah.
But I guess you can't do it to him. He gets really upset.
Was the pipe bomb off script, or was it planned and Vince made it seem like it was off script? Because I've heard rumors both ways.
It was scripted. He was supposed to do that, but a lot of stuff that he said, it wasn't scripted. So it was a mix.
I heard the mic cutoff was scripted, though.
Yeah, it was. Yes, I'm saying the whole promo itself was scripted, of him sitting down and venting his frustrations with the WWE, right?
Yeah.
And cutting off the mic. But in between that, what he was saying and how he was saying it, that wasn't scripted. He was just shooting from the hip.
Yeah.
So.
And I like the one promo that Vince and Paul Heyman did, and Paul Heyman was like, "Hey Vince, do you want to know what I'm gonna say?" And Vince just said, "Go make me money."
That's it. And he tore into his fucking ass, bro.
Yeah. And speaking of that shit,
all hang out.
the other part that was funny was in the Vince McMahon documentary when like everyone's calling Stephanie McMahon a slut and the crowd's chanting. Vince goes to Triple H and he's like, "Money."
He don't care, bro.
He was a savage, bro. He was a savage.
Yeah.
A piece of shit savage. Here at 404 Heels, we do not condone.
Do not condone the actions of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Do not condone it.
All right, here's another AEW question, but it's from a ex-WWE and WCW employee, but it's from Tommy Zeus. Tommy Zeus. He says, should Chris Jericho, or is Chris Jericho helping younger stars, or is he stealing the spotlight from them?
Oh man, he's helping stars, bro. It's ridiculous to think that Chris Jericho, who's been in this business for damn near 30 years, and think that he's stealing the spotlight, because who else can you put in that spotlight? I mean, look what he did for Matt Menard. He was in a Jericho Appreciation Society. Anna Jay was in Jericho Appreciation Society. My boy with the comb, I forgot, he's Matt Menard's partner. He was in Jericho Appreciation Society. He elevates talent. Look what he's doing with fucking the Bad Apple, Brian Keith.
Yeah.
Why nobody give a fuck about him if he wasn't with Jericho in the Learning Tree right now?
Yeah.
Look what he's doing with Big Bill.
Yeah.
Big Bill didn't have any runs until he was the tag team champions with Ricky Starks. And they lost the title. And after he was just weighing in the water, they put him as the big redwood for the Learning Tree. Look at him now. Yeah. So yeah, he's helping.
He let Hook beat him for Hook beat him for the FTW championship, and then Hook was able to retire it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, Action on Andretti, his first match on AEW, pinned Chris Jericho.
Yeah. So Tommy Zeus seems like a fucking Y2J hater. Bro.
Yeah. I don't understand. Well, but look, I understand the hate that he gets because his matches is nowhere near what it's supposed to be.
It's
right?
terrible. I've been very outspoken, bro. I've been very outspoken.
But he has a purpose. He serves a purpose.
Yeah. Right? I think he needs to go into a tag team situation where he can come in and do the fan favorites real quick and then get the fuck out of the match again.
Yeah.
He needs a young person that he can put. Maybe, dude, hear me out. Somehow him and Jericho, or sometime Hook and Jericho, do it. Hook
tag
can,
team?
Yes, Hook can carry a tag match for fucking 40 minutes if they need to. Jericho comes in for 5, does a classic Jericho shit, gets Hook back in, or Jericho finishes the match. It'd be like Matt Riddle when he was with a hurt ass, Randy Orton. He talks about it all the time. He's like, that dude got me through like 2 years of my career. He's like, I couldn't do shit. He would carry the match. I would come in, do the classics, and get the fuck out of there. He was like, it was perfect.
No, I can see that. But we keep it 100 on this show, right? So Chris Jericho serves a purpose. He is a legend. He's gonna go down as one all-time great.
Oh honestly. Yeah, all-time great. Okay.
But it just, his in-ring ability right now is, not good. It's not good. Okay.
And you know what? Billy Gunn, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? You can elevate a little bit more, bro. You could elevate if you tried.
Yeah, that's true. And
do
again,
a little carnivore,
Look what Billy Gunn has did for the Acclaim.
Yeah.
That was a perfect match. Like,
I wonder where
Daddy ass.
Yeah,
but
where's Billy Gunn go when Acclaim about to break up? Does he go to his kids?
I would like to see him back with the Gun Club.
Yeah,
I would like to see him back with them boys, his sons. That would be great. They need that. And the Gun Club was doing this, but I think one of them is injured.
I think so. I believe so.
Austin's injured right now, so they got to put a stop to that shit. But Chris Jericho serves his purpose, and his matches stinks right now. But no, I do not think that he's taking the spotlight away from the younger talent.
All right, it's just a Y2J hater, I guess.
Yeah, what you think?
I mean, now that like right when I first heard the question, I was like, fuck yeah, he is. But then I was like, well, he did put over Hook, so Hook could and I was like, that's right there putting someone over. But then, him beat Mark Briscoe isn't a young star either. So like Mark Briscoe is far from a young star. You know what I mean? So like his main rivalry right now is with someone who's also not a young star. So is it really, are they both hindering young stars from having that belt? Yes. But right now they're telling the story. So, tell the story.
First of all, you got to build up the belt to make it matter for a young talent to even take the belt.
Yeah, that's true too.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and all right, so we got a last question, but it's not a fan question. It's a question from me to you, my friend.
Let's get it.
This is my last question. And I saw this, and I thought about it. And I'm like, it might not be that bad. But is AEW plateauing as a niche product, or do they still think they can reach WWE potential?
I don't even think they give a fuck about reaching WWE potential.
So they want to be the niche product.
They want to be the alternative.
Okay.
They always said we're not here to compete with WWE. We're just here to be the alternative to WWE.
See, I don't like the word alternative for it then, because like to me the alternative for WWE was WCW. It wasn't ECW. You know what I mean? ECW was very niche. It had a certain fan. And I think if AEW figured it out, they could live in that pocket of niche and not trying to be the alternative. Like, don't ever just don't mention WWE ever again and just be like, we're here for y'all. Like, don't fucking even bring them up. You know what I mean?
But let's keep it a buck, though. Let's keep it 100, though. AEW didn't mention WWE. WWE mentioned AEW. And I'm going to tell you when it happened.
Vince.
Hall of Fame ceremony when I think it was inducting Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, don't say his name. And it was like, well, he said, he'll fire us. And then Billy Gunn leaned into the mic and said, well, he can't fire me. And he said, well, he'll buy that piss and company just to fire you. Shots fired right there.
Yeah, that was I remember that Triple H said it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, bro. He said, he can't fire me.
That was the first shot right there. You know what I'm saying?
And then Billy Gunn ruined it for any AEW person getting inducted into the Hall of Fame after that. They said, nope, that ain't happening.
But again, I think at times, AEW do worry a little bit too much about WWE at certain times, right? But they are the alternative, to be honest with you. So no, and I think they do have a niche. They do have a certain audience that they cater to. And
yes.
Even me, at times when I'm watching the show, I can tell the difference. I'm like, okay, this is not for audience like me. This is for their hardcore. You know, like I was telling you before, and I've got to on Word of the Street really got to talk about Raw because I got some complaints about fucking Raw, bro.
Oh, that's one of my first topics is just asking your opinion about all of Raw that happened because I was high on it and you seemed low on it.
No, I know, I'm not low. I just got some concerns.
Okay,
that's all. It's difference. There are different types of wrestling fans, right? That watch pro wrestling for different reasons. I've always been the type of fan, definitely growing up watching WCW. I don't necessarily need a storyline behind these two dudes that's fighting in the ring. I just want to see a good match. Just like I was telling you before, like the undercards for qualifying matches for UFC or boxing, we necessarily don't really need to know what is what and this is that.
Yeah,
and
I just want to see a banger.
I just want to see a banger. Now, does that mean that you shouldn't have storylines at all? No. Of course, you need it. It's part of wrestling. But it's not the one and only thing that I look for when I'm watching a match. Like, oh, ain't no storyline. This shit is trash.
Yeah.
Fuck no. It's a match. Just the athletic ability of these two performers in the ring is more than enough for me to sit and watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what, like I said, I've always gravitated more to the wrestling aspect of pro wrestling than the fucking entertainment aspect of pro wrestling. I like the in-ring shit. That's why I fell in love with pro wrestling to begin with, is because of the in-ring action.
Yeah.
Now, if WWE get on their shit and improve their in-ring performance because it's just not that good. You know what I mean? They tell great stories in the ring, right? But just the action, it's not that. It's not high adrenaline. It's not like the old WWF shit I remember back in the day. You understand what I'm saying? It's not the shit I remember growing up watching WWF.
Well, I'm telling you, in We will be having a different conversation in 5 to 10 years about WWE being, I think, higher octane. Because look who's coming up. You got your Braun Breakers. Think about the NXT women. They never stop, bro. They never stop, bro. And
Right.
I know I love the women in NXT, but even like a person like the Tony D'Angelos,
Right.
the Obafemis, these dudes, they're getting matches down there, with little storylines sometimes in NXT. And that's the thing I like about WWE that AEW could do. Like, instead of saying, hey, next week, like, I'll just use WWE names for this example. Next week, we got Carmelo Hayes versus Cody Rhodes, which did happen. But the week before, we had a little backstage 15-second altercation that made the match relevant. You know what I mean? Cody Rhodes was walking back. Carmelo Hayes said a little trash. Cody Rhodes said, I'll see you in the fucking ring next week. Boom. Give me that shit.
Right.
Instead, AEW's just like, these two people are fighting next week. Please tune in. For no reason.
Right. Wait, but see, I got to stop you right there because WWE does the same thing too. Remember Carmelo Hayes versus AJ Styles? There was no build-up. But
they had a little backstage tiff, bro. I'm telling you. There was a little backstage interaction, like a bump shoulder. There was some, I'm telling you, bro.
Wait, Carmelo Hayes and AJ Styles, when AJ Styles returned for the first time from his injury? No.
Yeah, no. AJ Styles came out and then Carmelo Hayes came out and was talking shit in a little promo right before he got into the ring, I believe. There's always something with WWE, bro.
But I'm saying there was no week build up and then they had the match the next
Not
week.
a week build up, but it might be even earlier in the show or even right before the show. Like it might set up earlier in the show and that sets up like Sammy and CM Punk. We didn't know or not Sammy and CM Punk, Sammy and Seth Rollins. We didn't know that match was going to happen on Raw.
Right.
But they set it up earlier on Raw. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I mean, I completely understand, but like
give me a little nugget. Give me a little seed.
There is some names that you don't have to do that with. You can just put them together and people are going to watch because they know they're going to kill it in the ring.
Yeah, but sometimes AEW does it with like Chris Statlander in action, and then there's just like this random person, and you're like, why is this even happening right now?
Oh, come on. Listen.
That happens like once a week through all the shows.
They've done that. This is an old school wrestling thing.
Yeah.
They put jobbers on to display the big main event talent. That's it.
The last time I saw that happen was Braun Breaker's debut, and the guy was already in the ring, and Braun Breaker came out and like just speared the motherfucker, pinned him 1, 2, 3, and went back.
Right.
And that was the last time I saw it in WWE. I see it like once, twice a week on AEW.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they operating off the traditional pro wrestling type of, okay, we're gonna put some jobbers in here, and most of the jobbers, to be honest with you, that they call jobbers that you see, these are up and coming pro wrestlers that actually are making a good name for themselves in their cities, in their towns. I mean, there's nothing wrong with showing some love to some independent talent on national TV. Yeah. That's some good shit. It's good for the industry. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be hard for me to be like the man in my city, like, hey, you want to come get squashed?
Yeah, I would. That means I be on TV. Yeah.
How much am I getting paid?
Shit. You could pay me a hot dog and $50, bro. Like, as long as I'm on TV, your brand is on TV. You can always use that in your resume. So, yeah, again, main event matches and stuff, yes, need to have storylines. Definitely drawn out ones and long ones, right? But not every single fucking match need to have a conflict or something all the time. It don't need to.
We just need a little something. A little seed, bro.
Again, I guess because I'm a wrestling purist. Like, I like just the fucking wrestling, the grapple.
And that's what I'm saying. AEW needs to cater to y'all and just stick with. Like me, I enjoy watching AEW now, but sometimes I'm like, man, that shit was so bad. Like, it was so bad to me. But like, it would also be like there would be a good match in there, but I'd be like, it was still so bad to watch. But I'll watch it. I will. I got time to watch it,
so,
you know?
For example, I remember a couple of months ago before we started the podcast, I sent you a text. And I used to send you texts all the time about shit to watch on AEW, but you never watch it, right?
Yeah.
I remember one time, one of the texts I sent you, I said, Oos, you need to watch Bryan Danielson and Kyle Fletcher. Fucking great match, bro.
Yeah.
And I don't think you ever watched it. But now that you know who Kyle Fletcher is, if you go back and watch it, I
Yeah.
guarantee you're like, holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
what
see.
I'm saying.
All
That's what I'm
right.
saying.
You got anything else, big dog?
Nah, man, just, well, everything I gotta say is pretty much going to be on Word on the Street. That's going to
Word
be a
on the
chalkboard.
street, y'all.
That's gonna be a
Tune in,
chalkboard
baby.
episode. There is one question that I got from me to you that I think I want to see, and I want you got to be like completely honest on this.
Okay.
One. So when you're watching the in-ring action, right? What are some of the things that you need to see, or what are some things that you be like, you know what? I could have done without that. What are you looking for when you're watching in-ring performances? That's what I want to know. What are you watching? Like, how are you processing what's good match from a bad match? Like, how are you processing that?
For me, I grew up watching WWE, WWF, WCW. All agree. I mean, one's the same company, just a different name. The other was the one that was trying to compete the most to it. So it was very similar in-ring action. Like WCW and WWE was very similar in-ring style action, except for the cruiserweights in WCW, obviously.
Right.
But, the Hogans, the Nash, they all came from, it was all the same. To me, and I hear this criticism all the time, is WWF, WCW, WWE, it's all geared towards 3 or 4 moments in the match. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to me, that near pinfall, that's it just, oh man, when you think the motherfucker's gonna lose and then he does it and he kicks out last second and it was amazing. Those type and then, you're looking for just the finishing move, the setup for the finishing move, just everything about honestly how I was conditioned to be a wrestling fan from WWE. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to those, and that's what I totally admit it, those matches were just nonstop Ricochet, Ospreay, it's just come on. Okay. The best example of a great match that had Will Ospreay in it that was very, very close to a WWF match, besides a lot of the high risk moves, was the Will Ospreay MJF match.
Mm-hmm.
The hour-long one, it told a story the whole match. They were in the crowd, the little girl hit, just those type of moments.
Right.
He's jumping from here, the table, they're laying on the ground, who's getting up, that type of match, where you actually sell it. And a lot of WWE fans are mad about the War Games women match with Rhea Ripley because she took a baseball bat to the gut 18 fucking times. And then 10 seconds later, she was on her feet,
Wait, so what are they upset about?
You didn't sell getting the shit beat out of you by a baseball bat. You know what I'm saying? She's just if I hit a normal person in the stomach and the ribs with a baseball bat, 18 times.
Yeah,
you're done.
You got a point.
Yeah.
But again, who was hitting her in the ribs?
Liv Morgan.
Baseball bat. Okay, there you go. That's why she got.
Hey, don't talk shit about Dom's girl, bro. Don't you talk shit about Dom's girl. He's 30 under 30, baby. You shut your mouth.
He's number one on 30 on 30.
Hey, bro, shout out Dirty Dom. That motherfucker was getting booed in Mexico, bro. Brutally.
I will say this. He does know how to work a crowd, man.
Yeah. And
but
Hogan says
his in-ring shit is fucking garbage.
Hogan says the bigger the heel, the bigger the turn's going to be. He says the bigger the heel you are, the higher the pop is when you turn babyface.
Yeah. I think everybody's waiting for him to turn babyface, to be honest with you. But I don't think that's happening no time soon.
I think it happens after this year's WrestleMania. That's my prediction.
And he reunites with his papa.
I don't want to see that. I love that he hates his dad.
The fuck? That's what's about to happen, right?
I love that he plays it so, even in public, they'll be like, oh, Ray. And he's like, yeah, fuck that guy.
That's what's about to happen. So, to sum up your answer, you're looking for the dramatic parts of the match. That's what you look for. Dramatic
I like
drama.
the slow build to the, oh, fuck, they're about to hit their finisher and then they don't, and it's oh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. That's all we got, y'all. Keep the questions coming. 404heels@gmail.com. We on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe. We alive. Peace.
Deuces.
Ooses.